on the 18-yard line. Pitch back this time to Mahoney again, running over the left side. Picks up about 5 yards, or actually more than 5, down to about the 11-yard line. Pickup of 7, where it'll be 2nd and 3.
Joe, they're running off tackle. I don't know what they see out there. Cardi certainly is one of our fastest, and he's just missing. Bucci just missed on that one. Would have been another loss for them. I think our nerves and our inexperience here might be showing, but I look for it to get better.
Right up the middle, number 3 is going in for a score. Touchdown, Lincoln Sudbury. He went right off the right side that time, really almost untouched. And number 3, Rodney Chance, a junior running back.
Yeah, they trapped the left guard, Joe. That hole I could have run through. That was a tremendous hole down on the 7 or 8 yard line. To open a hole up like that, we were getting beaten on that line of scrimmage. We've got to get across. Now the kicking game, Joe, is excellent. This boy that does the kicking, can't read his number from here. To get into the Super Bowl, he kicked a 32-yard field goal against Concord Carlisle in the last seconds to win 9-7.
That's right, and that is extra point is good. Was that number, oh, that's 43, I believe, or is it Mark Dent's is number 43. I believe that is who kicked off. So early in the first quarter, the clock is not working, so we don't have the time for you, but a couple of minutes into the first quarter, Lincoln Sudbury took the opening kickoff and marched down the field with a combination of running and passing, mostly on the ground, and finally made it look easy by going in from the last few yards.
Well, I talked to Bill Adams before the game, Joe, and says we're going to stick with what what got them there, primarily running. They'll do a little passing just to keep the other team honest, but we're going to see Lynnfield, I think, stay on the ground. We know about their rotation backfield. It certainly has shown a lot. During the year, they've gained over 1,800 yards, and the 3 backs, Sutera, Cavallello, and Moki, have scored 22 touchdowns between them. They can run. They can move the football. The line can block. See how they move the ball up against the strong Lincoln Sudbury defense. Lincoln Sudbury's defense, by the way, has only allowed 91 points against them all year, compared to Lynnfield's 95. So we're looking at 2 good defensive football teams here.
And here we go, ready with the kickoff. It's a line drive, handled by, let's see, who is that for Lynnfield? 85. Number 85, Ron Grasso. And he brings the ball back to about the 22-yard line, where Lynnfield will put the ball in play 1st and 10. The rights to this broadcast have been granted by the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, representing 355 senior high schools across the Commonwealth, and the 155,000 boys and girls who participate annually in MIAA-governed athletic competitions. Any rebroadcast or republication of the programming without the written consent of the MIAA is prohibited. So in the backfield with David Frontero, number 44, Todd Coviello, who gets the ball right up the middle and picks up about a nice lunge there at the after he was held onto, Steve, to pick up an extra 5 yards. So
a great effort by Todd. Again, if Lynnfield's going to move the ball today, they're going to go to Todd. Todd's done it for him all year. He's the one that's got him here, and they're going to need a lot from Todd today. That was a good run, good hole.
That's right, 2nd down and 4. Coviello in the backfield with Jason Moki, number 23. Ron Grasso split wide to the left at wingback. The give us to Moki this time. Picks up a couple of yards to the 35-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 2.
Joe, if we're going to go anywhere today, we're going to have to move. Kroll, number 44, off that line. He is an excellent defender. He's one of the best on the run. Coviello just hit him and put him 2 yards back to open up that hole. If we can handle him, we're going to run where no one else has run all year. And they're moving him around. He's gone to the strong side this time.
So 3rd down and 2. Big play early for Lynnfield, early in the game. This is The give was to Moxatera, number 40, who it looks like maybe picked up only a yard, where it'll be 4th down with 1 to go.
Yeah, again, Joe, they got beaten on the line of scrimmage right there. Lineman got through and grabbed an ankle, and Mark had to pull out of the grasp and lunge forward for a yard, but there was a hole there and there was an opening. He would have made that if that guy didn't get his hand on him.
That's right. They did beat him off the line, and so Lynnfield is forced to punt early in the game here, with number 17, David Frontero, punting, and number 33 for Lincoln Sudbury back to receive. Good Lynnfield bounce. It fielded, and he ran right by two Lynnfield players who really thought he was just going to let it roll, I guess, and didn't challenge him on it. But fortunately for Lynnfield, only a 5-yard pickup on the reception, where the ball now is at the 40-yard line.
That was a high snap, Joe. Frontero did an excellent job getting that kick off. That was an excellent kick, low kick. He was lucky he picked that up. I think our two defenders weren't ready to make that tackle, but that was an excellent kick by Frontero.
So Lincoln Sudbury back with the ball. Lynnfield only had it for maybe a minute or two, and Lincoln Sudbury will give this time to Mahoney, stopped in the backfield for perhaps a no gain on the play or a shot loss.
Here's an example, Joe, of how to play football. Right there, the line came across. They were low. Lincoln Sudbury couldn't move. We beat Lincoln Sudbury on the line of scrimmage on that play.
So it's 2nd down and 11 for Lincoln Sudbury. Ball resting on their own 39-yard line. Back to pass, and found nobody open. Tucked the ball under and was immediately tackled by Darrell Carty, I believe, was in on that tackle, along with, let's see, number 65, Loomis.
That's good pass coverage, Joe. They had Kroll had no place to go. Number 1, who had started out to the right in motion, was deep, but he never saw him. Good coverage by Lynnfield. Again, the line play was good.
So 3rd down and a long 10. And we'll certainly look for a pass here, or maybe a draw off the obvious passing situation. Back to pass is Burkle, being chased, looking for receivers. Nobody open. Oh, fumble picked up by Todd Coviello. And Lynnfield has the ball, recovering the fumble and avoiding the punt. So great coverage that time by Lynnfield in the secondary, forcing the quarterback to pull the ball down and run with it, and a hard hit, forcing the fumble, recovered by Todd Coviello. Lynnfield 1st and 10 on the Lincoln Sudbury 38-yard line.
Joe, excellent coverage again there. He had nowhere to go with the pass. He had to run, and Lynnfield did what they've done all year. They, again, forced a fumble, forced a mistake, recovered. They did it 3 times against North Reading. They did it all day against Hamilton Wenham. They did it against Ipswich. This is a very opportunistic team, and let's look for him now to move that ball in.
David Frontero again with Coviello and Moki in the backfield. Offside, Lincoln Sudbury. Frontero's going to roll to his left and look to throw. He's going to run, and he's pulled down from behind with maybe a short gain. No gain. Actually didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. So if it is offside Lincoln Sudbury, however, that will be a pickup for Lynnfield of 5 yards. We'll wait and see. The official does signify the offside against Lincoln Sudbury, so Lynnfield will take the penalty.
Joe, Frontero tried to outrun Kroll there, and he almost did it. He got by him, and we would have seen he had some daylight. We might have seen 6 points. That Kroll really turns that play in from outside. He strings it out, and we're going to have a tough time running against him.
That's right. Well, you've mentioned he's the 100-meter dual county champion, and so David Frontero is actually very quick and has been able to outrun most linemen chasing him in the backfield to at least get a ball off, but that time he met a challenge he hadn't seen in the Cape Ann League this year. First and 5. The give is to Moki up the middle, who gets nowhere.
Yeah, nowhere to go on that, Joe. What they're doing, Lincoln Sudbury is taking this Kroll and they're putting him to the strong side. we're going to have to run away from him, I think. But he keeps moving from one side to the other.
Setting the Lynnfield offense here, we have number 52, Kevin Murphy at center. The guards, let's see, we have number 65, Chris Loomis at one guard. Frontera looking to pass, has a man open. Ron Grasso, the Lincoln Sudbury defender, is saying he pushed me, and he certainly did. Grasso pushed him in order to spring loose, but ball overthrown. Great opportunity there for Lynnfield. If the pass had been just a little shorter, he was wide open, and nobody between him and the goal line. So now we have 3rd down and 5. Ball resting on the Lincoln Sudbury 33-yard line.
This is a big play, Joe. We've got to make a first down here. It'd be a critical field situation on a punt. I'm not sure what the coach would do, but we've got to make it here.
I think he thinks he's got 2 plays to get this. I don't think they're going to see more passing than Lynnfield has done. And an almost great reception, but incompletion. Number 16, Jay Kelleher, went up for the ball, but well defended. 2 Lincoln Sudbury defenders on him, and they stripped him of the ball as he was coming down.
That was an excellent pass by Frontero. He laid it right in there. Kelleher went up, made a good attempt for it. It's a good block. I wasn't sure if it was Sutera or it was Carviello, but made a nice block to allow Frontero to get that ball off.
So on 4th down and 5, the ball resting on the 33-yard line, Lynnfield are going to go for it. They have Grasso wide left, Kelleher in the wing back, and Coviello and Moki in the backfield behind Frontero. Offside again, nope. Lincoln Sudbury maybe got back this time. And Frontero almost pulled down in the backfield, throwing, interception. Interception on the 10-yard line. That's actually to Lynnfield's benefit. If he dropped it, of course, he would have had it on the 33-yard line. So, but he doesn't care. He's excited. He got an interception in the Super Bowl, and he'll remember that one.
That's right, Joe. That was one of Lynnfield's famous situations. Third and 3, 4, 4, 3 and 4, and the coach always goes for it. He has a lot of confidence in his players, and he went for it. Actually, I thought Kelleher was wide open on that. David Frontero just couldn't get it to him.
That's right.
But this is as good as a punt. You're right.
That's right. This is probably better than a punt, but a punt may have gone in the end zone and come out to the 20. So Lincoln Sudbury takes over with the ball on their own 10-yard line. The pitch back to number 33, trying the left end. Or is that 36? That is 36, Mahoney. The guy they go to most of the time for the running plays, and a pickup on the play of about 4 yards.
One of Lynnfield's strong suits, Joe, has been the outside linebackers coming up, and what we're seeing is the outside linebackers coming up as Bucci did on that play. A very talented runner. He threw the hip, took it away, and Bucci had him right in his grasps, and he just ran away from him. Good runner, this Mahoney.
Charlie Moore, number 18, in to replace David Frontero at safety. Don't know the reason for that change. Looks like maybe it was just for the coach to give some instructions, because Frontero's coming right back in.
Excellent play there, Joe, by Sutera. A good example of what a linebacker is supposed to do. You pursue the play, don't run by the play, find the opening, find the hole, and go through it and make the tackle, and that's exactly what he did.
So 3rd down and 4 yards to go for Lincoln Sudbury. If Lynnfield can hold here, they could have good field position on this punt. Back to passes. Burkle, and it's being pursued. And his ball is thrown away by the Lincoln Sudbury quarterback in the general direction of somebody, maybe a running back. No call on the play, so Lincoln Sudbury is forced to punt for the first time in the game from their own, their own 15, 16-yard line.
Joe, that was excellent play by that lineman. Who was that?
I think that was Chris Loomis, number 65.
Okay, excellent pursuit. He played a great game last week, and he's continuing right here.
Don't be offside, Lynnfield. And a short punt. It's going to take Lincoln Sudbury, the ball is going to be down on about the Lincoln Sudbury 47-yard line. So reasonably good field position for Lynnfield to start this next offensive series.
Joe, it's good field position. We gave the ball up on about the 35-yard line, fourth down, and an interception on the 10. Would have been Lincoln Sudbury's ball there. We're back. The line right now for Lynnfield, defensive line played very well in that series of downs. Let's see how they play offensively here.
That's right, and the coverage on the passes is good, forcing the Lincoln Sudbury quarterback to scramble, and the linemen have been chasing him down. So here we have Mark Sutera in the backfield with Jason Moki. The pitch back to Moki, going for room on the wide side. Nice pickup. First down, stepped out of bounds. Actually just around the down marker. We'll have to wait and see if they call for a first down.
Joe, when you draw this play out on the blackboard, you see a line going around the end with the ball carrier, but what you see ahead of them are a bunch of blockers knocking down the interference, and it doesn't always work. But on that play there, Sutera came back and threw a tremendous block. Cardi threw a block. Somebody else threw a block. I couldn't get his number. All three executed perfectly, and the results were a 15-yard gain.
So it's first down and 10, the ball on the 36-yard line. Again, Mark Sutera, Moki in the backfield. Pitch back to Moki this time for the right side, looking for the block. That was actually Todd Coviello, wasn't it? Yes, Todd Coviello running out of the tailback position. And a pickup on the play of about 3 yards, where it'll be now second down and 7.
So both teams have an extremely explosive running game. Lynnfield, or Lincoln Sudbury goes to Mahoney whenever they need yardage, and he's their principal carrier. Lynnfield, with their rotation backfield, has got a three-way threat, and it's got to be difficult to defense, and I think right now we're on a roll with it.
And that's the quarter. So this is the end of the first quarter, with Lincoln Sudbury leading Lynnfield 7-0. And again, we wish to remind you that the sponsors for this game here, the Super Bowl game at Nickerson Field at Boston University, Louise's Ravioli from Revere. The raviolis may be purchased at your favorite supermarket. Lou's Richdale, Washington Street in Peabody. Four Seasons Sporting Goods at Main Street in Peabody. And the Warren 5-Cent Savings Bank in Peabody Square. And this game is brought to you with the sponsorship of the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, where a well-rounded education is one that is not only academically oriented, but one that also includes physical, social, and emotional development. Interscholastic athletics provided for the other half of education. The MIAA encourages you to support your local high school athletic teams throughout the school year. We'll be back with second quarter action after these brief messages.
It's 1985.
Tell us another one. Okay, nice room. Todd Coviello picks up the first down to the Lincoln Sudbury 25-yard line. Good blocking on that play, Steve.
Murphy, Madden, Loomis, Aldenberg, every one of them in the middle of that line had their man 5 yards downfield. We're starting to see the butterflies wear off. We know we can beat them. We know we're in the game against this team, and we're going at them.
That's right. I think it is. They need that confidence. They need to know that they can do it. And now let's see. So it's first down and 10 from the 25-yard line. This reverse this time to number 85. Oh, a nice move he made. Ron Grasso, and he looks like he may have picked up the first down, leaving some bodies in his wake there. That was a great run, and he was almost tackled for about a 5-yard loss, but he managed to elude that tackler and pick up almost a first down. Let's see, it'll be second down and 1.
Joe, I'm really impressed by Coach Adams' offense. How often do you see a reverse around the 20-yard line? Very rarely. You give the ball to a kid, Grasso. It's the first time he's touched the ball today. On a reverse, Lincoln Sudbury, their men did stay at home. Grasso just outran them. Excellent job.
Grasso, I believe, is the fastest ball player on this Lynnfield team. Looks like a first down up the middle by Todd Coviello, who picked up 2 or 3 yards on that play, getting the ball down to about the 12-yard line, 13-yard line.
When Lynnfield needs the short yards, Joe, they go to Coviello. Who do they run over? Cardi. Everybody in town knows it. It's a credit to Carty to be able to open the hole up knowing it's coming there. Excellent block by Carty.
That's right. Darrell Carty, big number 75, playing his final high school game of the year. Sure to go on to play some college ball. It was a, let's see, I didn't see who carried that ball that time, Steve.
It was Moki.
Okay, Jason Moki. Pick up on the play of maybe a yard or two.
Joe, Moki, for a junior, is running like a senior in college. He gets outside, he gets hit, he spins. You don't see that too often in high school ball. He spun off that tackle and lunged forward for a couple yards. Good effort inside the 20-yard line.
So here we have now a second down and 8 yards to go. Moki for about 5 yards. Another aggressive play on the part of Coach Adams.
Joe, that play was almost a broken play. And in fact, it was a broken play. Frontero rolled out and ran into McDonald, who was pulling. And he was pulling, looking to hit somebody. He didn't get there quick enough, and Frontero ran right up his back. With that, the outside linebacker committed towards Frontero. Frontero made a great pitch to Moki, springing him for another few yards. Good play.
So the ball on about the 6-yard line, where it's 3rd down and 2 for a first down. And the give is to Coviello, who's tried to grind it out, looking for that first down. Looks like maybe he didn't make it. They'll give him some forward progress, hopefully, to about the, well, it looks like they're only going to give him just over the 5. So it's 4th down with a long 1 to go. Coviello was grinding away there. He just had too many men on him and couldn't push himself across.
Well, he gave it a good effort, Joe. And again, they went over Carty, and that time it didn't work.
Fired up Lynnfield fans here and a fired up team looking to convert this 4th down and 1 inside the 5-yard line. And it's Coviello who picks up the first down to about the 2. Or it looks like, yes, it does look like they, there it is. There's the signal from the official. 1st and goal on the 2-yard line.
Joe, all you can ask from somebody is to do their best. And when someone gives 120%, it's got to be noticed. And there it was. Coviello was stopped cold. He had no place to go. He jumped over the line, dove for the hole that he saw because he knew where he had to go to make the first down, made the first down. Great second effort.
So here it is, 1st down on the ball on about the 2.5-yard line. The give again is to Coviello, who gets down to the fumble. Is there a fumble? And yes, there is a fumble, and Lincoln Sudbury has recovered in the end zone. A tough break here for Lynnfield as they were knocking on the door. The ball will come out to the 20-yard line where Lincoln Sudbury will put it in play, 1st and 10.
Well, that's a tough break, Joe, and I wasn't sure who fumbled on that play. It got so congested from our distance I couldn't see. But they're hitting down there. It's cold out. You got to really hold on to that football, particularly on the goal line. Bad break. We're out to the 20. We'll see what we're made out of right here. They've got to be inspired. They get that ball back so they can score. They want it back.
That was a play up the middle that picked up maybe 3 yards for Lincoln Sudbury. Lynnfield defense, let's see if we can set the defense. We have, at that time, Billy Dalton, number 32, was in at linebacker for Todd Coviello for one play. Coviello's back in there now. He and Mark Sutera, number 40, at linebackers. 16, Jay Kelleher, 15, Stephen Bucci, 17, David Frontero in the backfield, and Jason Moki, number 23.
Oh, what a play by Carty on that, Joe.
Darrell Carty smelled out the play there and tackled the runner in the backfield for about a 4-yard loss.
That was a reverse. They're trying to take one out of Lynnfield's playbook there, Joe. But Carty wasn't fooled at all.
That's right. Brendan Mahoney came around this side, passed off to number 1, Jeff Ventnor, who who was immediately dropped by Darrell Carty in the backfield. So 3rd down and 11 for Lincoln Sudbury. The Lynnfield defense has really played well after that opening back to pass. Burkle complete to the big guy, number 88, who holds the ball out like a loaf of bread. A pickup on the play of maybe 5 yards.
That was Sims, Joe. When they can't find Kroll, they go to Sims.
6'4", 235, Steve, is
yeah, and didn't bother Corviello at all. He went right at him and pulled him down. Good save. He got by Corviello. He might have had the first down. They have to punt now.
So 4th down and 6, the ball on the, the 24-yard line. Lincoln Sudbury forced to punt. Gets off a good one. Mark Guido takes it on the run, going to try a right reverse. And it just, he got stuffed. He got speared, I think, as a matter of fact, and there is a flag on the play. I don't know if it was related to that, but it looked like he got a helmet.
Quite a kick, Joe. That was a 45-yard kick. Not bad for a high school kid. Guido made a nice run back on that.
No, well, they must have missed the spearing because it was a personal foul on Lynnfield on that play. So Lynnfield goes 15 yards deeper into their own territory here. You mentioned Tom McDonald earlier, Steve. Tom, number 57, brought up Thanksgiving Day to replace a player who was ineligible for that game, playing in his first 2 varsity games, Thanksgiving and now in the Super Bowl. Must be exciting for him, and of course he's called upon to do a little better, to pick up the slack from the starter who is missing. And Tom has did very well in the Thanksgiving game, and looks like he's playing up to par here as well. Moki around the right side picks up a few yards.
Yeah, that was a good play there, Joe. We're getting some good blocks off the line here. I don't think there's any question in Coach Adams' mind that we can move the ball. He hasn't deviated at all from his game plan. He's staying right on the ground. He's got a lot of confidence on it. We're picking up 4 or 5 yards at a clip. We've got time to get in there again. Let's hope we can hold on to that football and get in for the half.
Again, we don't have a clock here, so we don't know how much time we have left in the half. We have not seen a 2-minute warning yet. 2nd down and 7. Grasso in motion. Moki hauled down in the backfield. One man got through that time, and he was hauled down for a loss on the play of about 3 yards, so it'll be 3rd down and 10.
Kroll ran in on that play, Joe, and ran right by the play. 1 block, and I think we would have seen a lot of yardage out of that play.
On these last couple of possessions, Lynnfield seems to be have given up trying to run up the middle for the most part, except for when they were down close, and trying to run on either side. Coviello looking to pass back to the Frontero. No, he's going to right. He dropped the intercepted, actually. Bounced off of Lynnfield's. That is an amazing play, and the Lincoln Sudbury runner is still going. Ball bounced off the Lynnfield Ron Grasso, who was wide open, bounced up in the air, and was hauled in by the defender who had been beaten on the play, who ran it back about 40 yards, where now Lincoln Sudbury will put the ball in play on the Lynnfield 32-yard line.
Oh, Joe, that was really a misfortune. Grasso was wide open. Coviello threw that ball about 35 yards, 40 yards, right in his hands. That's too bad. He must feel awful about it. A very alert Lincoln Sudbury defender, very alert. Picked that ball off in midair and had the presence of mind to go to the side with an excellent defensive play.
So the breaks seem to be going Lincoln Sudbury's way. To see if they'll come out here now and try to score on this play. I guess Lincoln Sudbury has taken a timeout. And like you say, Steve, that's a tough break for Lynnfield, because they seem to have it all going there, and that was a great play, a great call, and a great pass by Coviello.
Well, Joe, what goes around comes around, and in Lynnfield's case, their drive to the touchdown was on a fumble that they had recovered, and then they lost it on the fumble. They're going in for another score, and they lose it on an interception. What we're seeing here are two excellent defensive teams. One had Lincoln Sudbury 91 points against it all year. Lynnfield 95. You don't get that few points scored against you without making the other team make a lot of mistakes, and that's what they've done. And this is a hard-hitting game. Make no mistake about that.
The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association is committed to good sportsmanship. Sportsmanship, citizenship, and responsibility are the trademarks of high school activities. Support school activities with your own displays of good sportsmanship and help encourage America's youth to accept the responsibility which freedom demands. Support your local high school. Number 32 for Lincoln Sudbury that time.
Again, stopped by Coviello, Joe, on that. A lot of faking in the backfield. Inexperienced, 1 year under his belt only, this quarterback for Lincoln Sudbury. Excellent ball carrier, ball handler.
5-yard pickup that time by sophomore Andy Willis. So now Lincoln Sudbury has the ball 2nd and 5 on the 26-yard line of Lynnfield. That looks like Mahoney going wide to the left, close to a first down.
So when they go outside like that, we've been stung a couple times. Lynnfield's been stung out there, and we're not coming up the way we should be coming up. The outside linebacker on that play, Bucci, got hit, got taken down, made a good second effort, and tripped the runner up, or he would have had another 5 yards. But we're not getting up across that line of scrimmage to turn that play in. We've got to turn the play in to be successful. These guys are just too big and too fast. If they get outside, they're going to really do some damage.
So that was enough for a first down, and the ball now resting almost to the 20-yard line, where it is first down and 10 for Lincoln Sudbury, and a timeout has been called here. Don't know if that was the 2-minute warning. It looks like maybe it is. The official coming over to the Lincoln Sudbury coach on this side. Perhaps that's the 2-minute warning. Naturally, Lincoln Sudbury would like to get another score in before the half. Is down so close, and Lynnfield, of course, would equally just as likely to prevent that. Give up the middle for a pickup on the play of about 5 yards, down to the 16-yard line.
Joe, another tackle by Coviello. Earlier in the week, Coach Adams was quoted in the paper saying Coviello is certainly the best linebacker in the KPN League, and Sutera is the second best in the league. Very tough. And Coviello has been in almost every tackle today. He's playing a really spirited game.
So 2nd down and 7 yards to go for the first down. Back to pass is Burkle, looking in the end zone. And a nice coverage by Lynnfield defenders that time, incomplete. That was David Frontero going up against, was that Sims, number 88? The Joe Sims, a 6'4", 235-pound wide receiver.
Joe, we got a 5'9" defensive back, Frontero, against a 6'4" defensive back. He's outweighed by 50 pounds, and he made that play.
That was a great play, and now it's 3rd down and 7 for Lincoln Sudbury. Ball resting on about the Lynnfield 16-yard line. A draw this time, and Lynnfield, again, Coviello made the play, but Darryl Carty made the first hit to slow him up. But that draw worked well. It looks like it might not quite be a first down. Timeout called by Lincoln Sudbury. It's about a 6-yard pickup, so it's 4th down and 1, ball resting on about the 12-yard line.
Well, Loomis had a shot at him, Joe, ran right by him, and then Carty had a shot at him, and the back made a nice cut. And again, Coviello made the tackle, and I think they're shot. They're shot by a half a foot.
I don't know, is this maybe a field goal try here, Steve? 4th down and inches. You would think that the team has run so well that they would just go for this, but we don't know the time. Maybe there's only a few seconds left, and we don't know the personnel, so we're only guessing that when they change up a half a dozen people, that that must mean and the officials are going under the goalpost. Must mean they're going to try a field goal. So, from the 12-yard line, it'll be about a 29-yard field goal attempt. Brendan Mahoney, number 36, holding, and I can't see the number of the kicker. High snap. Looks like it's off to the left. So a miss, and Lynnfield has held, doing very well to hold Lincoln Sudbury to no points after that disappointing turnover.
Joe, that could be the turning point in the football game right there. Unless, again, we don't have the clock, but unless he was running out of time, I don't understand that call at all. I was delighted to see it. I'd be delighted to let him have 3 points. He missed even better. It was a bad snap. It was a high snap. He had trouble putting it down. The kid was way ahead of the kick, and excellent field goal kicker, by the way. As I mentioned earlier, he got them into the Super Bowl in the last seconds of the Concord-Carlisle game with a 32-yard field goal. So he can do it, and they have confidence in it, but I don't agree that that was the right place for it. I'm delighted to see it.
That's right, a little conservatism on the part of the Lincoln Sudbury coach that time. So Lynnfield will put the ball in play first and 10 from their own 20-yard line. The give is, looks like maybe Moki that time. Pickup of about 4 yards out to the 24-yard line. Tough yards down in this area. And Lynnfield calls a timeout. 5 timeouts available to each team per half, so you might as well use them. And again, we don't know how many seconds are left, but they need to preserve all the time they can.
Yeah, that was looking back at that field goal, that was a 30-yard field goal. I mean, high school, you don't take a 30-yard field goal for granted. That's amazing.
And it only missed a little to the left, though, Steve. It hooked just as it was going by the goalpost. But that's right, you don't take them for granted, but it looks like Lincoln Sudbury has a lot of confidence in their kicker, and he certainly made the distance. So
Coach Adams is going to have to open up here. He, again, if we're short on time, we don't know, but we have to assume we are. He's going to have to open up, and let's see what he can do. I think I'd look to Kelleher here.
Perhaps Kelleher, he hasn't carried the ball yet, and he's a potential big playmaker. Frontero is nailed and fumble, and Lincoln Sudbury recovers. No, let's see, what's the call? David Frontero was clocked. No, they're calling him down. They blew the whistle down. Either that or there's a penalty. Let's see what that call is. Face mask on Lincoln Sudbury. So Lynnfield will get the ball back, avoid a possible an additional attempt of a field goal or another TD. A break there, in a sense, for Lynnfield, but no protection that time for David Frontero, who was hauled down by 2 Lincoln Sudbury defenders and nailed by the third one. Sutera and Coviello in the backfield. Frontero again. This is a draw to Sutera. Lincoln Sudbury wasn't fooled. Pickup of about 3 yards on the play, where it now will be 4th down and probably about 4 yards to go.
That was a very conservative call there, Joe, to say the least, but coach is probably a little gun-shy. With Frontero dropping back, the whole left side of that Lincoln Sudbury line came in, and boy, they didn't stop. There wasn't one Lynnfield person that got in front of them. Time Frontero turned around, he had no time at all but to eat the football. Fortunately, it was called back. But in this case now, we've got a punt. We're going to have to rely on our punt coverage, and we better do something here. These guys are fast, and they can score a lot of touchdowns from back here.
That's right, and you know that Lincoln Sudbury should want to try to block the punt here and get a scoring opportunity. So they'll probably send everyone, have just one man back deep. And Lynnfield's going to have to be prepared for that. They want to get the punt out of here. It doesn't have to be a 40, 50-yarder. It just has to be get the ball to give Lincoln Sudbury no better than field position just inside the 50, say.
Well, we've had good Good snaps all year from John Wilson, Joe, and I don't have any reason to believe he's not going to make another good one here. And it'll be critical. It's going to be a tough snap, and let's hope he gets it back to Frontero so we can get that ball off and downfield.
So the ball on about the 27-yard line. David Frontero, number 17, back in punt formation. Oh, and it's a trick play. It's a center to Coviello, number 44, who picked up the first down. What a great play by Coach Adams. He is really imaginative.
The old single wing, Joe. Terrific. Coviello was standing right there. They couldn't have given it to a better back. Again, he got hit with about a yard to go and dove for that first down. An excellent call.
Right, and Lincoln Sudbury, of course, didn't expect that at all, which, of course, helped make it go.
And guess where he ran with it, Joe? Right over Cardi.
Right. Where else? So Lynnfield now has the ball again with perhaps only a few seconds remaining in this first half. And it's a pass. Oh, it's just thrown up in the air. It was a floater, a wounded duck if there ever was one, and a very dangerous pass because Lincoln Sudbury defender, if he could have got under that, would have had nobody in his way as he roamed into the Lynnfield end zone.
Joe, I don't think that's what he meant to do, obviously. That ball was severely underthrown. Fortunately, I think it got up in the wind, or maybe his hand was hit. I couldn't see from here, but he's a better passer than that.
Oh, that's right, he sure is. And I think the wind did probably have something to do with it. It is kind of a windy day here at Nickerson Field at Boston University. So Lynnfield with the ball on their own 32-yard line, second down and 10. And we don't know how many seconds remaining in this half. And there's a delay of game penalty against Lynnfield. So it'll move the ball back 5 more yards. So it'll be second down and 15 from their 26-yard line. I think they'd like to just get out of here with a 7-0 score and come back and get the ball to open up the second half. Well, it looked like that. Well, somebody's still running with the ball.
Joe, we had 2 men in motion at the same time. You can't do that, and penalty will be against Lynnfield. I'm a little unsure on that play, I think, on the part of Lynnfield as to what they were going to do with the ball.
It looks so different that it might be a play that was installed this week for this game. And like you say, procedure call on Lynnfield and going to move the ball back even further.
Can't play too conservative, Joe. Again, we don't know the time, but I think Coach Adams isn't playing conservative. Obviously, on the pass, on the fake punt, showed that he was going for it and he was willing to give it up if he couldn't make it. I'm not sure what the play there was, but I think he's going for it. I don't think he's trying to stall to go in at 7-0 at half.
No, it doesn't appear that way at all. It does appear as if he's going for it. Lincoln Sudbury has taken a timeout here now to stop the clock. They'd like to get the ball back maybe one more time here. We remind you again that the sponsors for today's game are Louise's Ravioli from Revere. Ravioli available from your local supermarket. Lou's Richdale, Washington Street in Peabody rather. A Four Seasons Sporting Goods on Main Street in Peabody, and the Warren 5-cent Savings Bank from Peabody Square. So here we go now, third down and a bunch, maybe about 18 yards to go for Lynnfield. And this time the give is to Coviello, who picks up a lot of yards, about a 15-yard pickup there. Ball out to the, let's see, the 37-yard line. And it looks like maybe Lincoln Sudbury is called for a timeout. Nice run by Todd to get Lynnfield out of a big hole there.
Good call, Joe. What it did, it got them out of the hole. They didn't have to punt, fourth down. You don't want to give Lincoln Sudbury that ball inside the 50. Frontero would have been punting into the wind. It was a good call. It gives them some room now to kick the ball, and let's look for some coverage. I'll look again, as you indicated on the last time, for a block punt. They're going to certainly come with everything they've got.
And it's 4th down and a long 5 yards to go. Ball resting on about the 37-yard line. Lynnfield not going to punt in this situation, but look to run the ball, use up some of the time on the clock, whatever that time is, and hope to get for first down. And Moki looks like he's close for the first down. I think he's made it. Depends on where they put the ball down. Doesn't look like Lynnfield's going to get a good placement of the ball here. And that's the end of the half. So, a drive by Lincoln Sudbury to open up the game, march down the field in 7 plays, 64 yards to go in for the score, take the 7-0 lead. And then mostly a defensive game after that, Steve, with a couple of bad breaks from Lynnfield, fumbling in the end zone for one and being intercepted on a sure touchdown pass for the other. So Lynnfield, I think, should have the confidence that they can play with this team, and we'll get the ball coming out in the second half, and I think we can look for more of the same that we've seen here in the first half.
Well, Joe, we went down on the field before the game and looking at the Lincoln Sudbury team, because we hadn't seen them, and certainly the boys that we've pointed out and talked about here in the first half are big kids. The rest of the team isn't big. They're inexperienced. They've had 1 year under their belt. They didn't overwhelm their league this year the way they did it last year. They got 5 returners from last year's Super Bowl team. They're not a real experienced team. Although they can score, they have a potent offense. I think Lynnfield's got to be delighted with their performance in that half. If it wasn't for the fumble, we got a tie football game here. Excellent performance by Lynnfield, and I think they'll come out flying.
That's right, and just as you started to talk there, Steve, let's see, 2, 4, 6 officials and the 4 coaches from Lincoln Sudbury were huddled in the middle of the field. Not clear what that was all about, but perhaps Lincoln Sudbury was complaining about something there. We'll see if we can find out what that was. In the meantime, we got to look at the Lynnfield cheerleaders, Cape Ann League champion cheerleaders, putting on a show here for the fans at BU's Nickerson Field. So we'll be back with more action for you in the second half after these brief messages. Here at Boston University, we're at halftime. The score is Lincoln Sudbury 7, Lynnfield nothing. Lynnfield will get set to receive the ball, opening up the second half. And Steve, we have some stats here from the press box at halftime indicating 6 first downs for Lynnfield, 5 for Lincoln Sudbury. Rushing yardage, 97 yards for Lynnfield on 11 carries, 67 yards for Lincoln Sudbury on 18 carries. Kind of a surprising statistic. And passing yardage, 0 for Lynnfield, 18 for Lincoln Sudbury.
Well, the total offense, Joe, 97 yards for Lynnfield, 85 for Lincoln Sudbury, so they outgained them. Interesting matchups, Coviello and Mahoney. Both carried it 10 times, Coviello for 50 yards, Mahoney for 51.
So here we go with the line drive kickoff right at number 18, Mark Guido, who comes firing up the field to about the 38-yard line for a nice return. A return of, I picked that up about the 12-yard line, so about a 26-yard return for Mark Guido.
A nice run, Joe. The play was designed to go up the middle. The return, he was tempted to come up the sideline, but he stayed with the plan, with the blocking, and went right up the middle and had a nice return of about 20 yards.
So Lynnfield will put the ball in play, first down and 10 on their own 38-yard line. Pitch back to Moki, looking for running room out the left side. Picked up about 5 yards before he was hauled down by a Lincoln Sudbury defender.
Joe, I want to take an opportunity here just to thank Leo Sutera for the sandwiches that he delivered to us at the half. Leo made him in his basement. He's got a new remodeled kitchen down there, and I think he's going to turn into a cook.
Chef Boyardee, is it? And, of course, Leo is the president of Louise's Ravioli, one of our sponsors here for this game, along with Lou's Richdale, Washington Street in Peabody, Four Seasons Sporting Goods, and the 5-cent saving, the Warren 5-cent savings. Pitch back to Coviello this time. Picked up maybe a yard on the play. So now it'll be 3rd down and 3.
Joe, the line has got to stay with their blocks a little longer than they're doing. This Lincoln Sudbury team has fine pursuit, good defensive team. We're going to have to stay with those blocks a little longer. You can't just hit and run with this team.
That's right, and Lynnfield, after a slow start, has played very well. 2 turnovers, a fumble in the end zone, and then a pass interception. But otherwise, they have played very good offense and very good defense. Grasso in motion. The counter this time to Coviello, who may have picked up the 1st down. It's going to be very close. It looks like they're going to give him the placement at the 49-yard line, where it will be a 1st down.
Joe, you called that one. That was a counter. That hole was a big hole. It fooled the line. It was good blocking, good execution, and we got the 1st down.
So 1st and 10 from the Lynnfield 49-yard line. Moki in the backfield now, along with Sutera. Kelleher. And Grasso in motion. A flag on the play, and that time Jason Moki was tackled right at the line of scrimmage, actually for about a loss. Probably will be a motion penalty against Lynnfield here. And Lincoln Sudbury is saying they want to take the penalty.
Joe, the penalties haven't been at the best of times for Lynnfield. In the first half, there were 2 for 10 yards for Lynnfield, 1 for 5 yards for Lincoln Sudbury, but the ones that Lynnfield did get were just at the wrong time. Can't make mistakes in a situation like this.
That's right, 2nd down now and 12 yards to go. The ball on the Lynnfield 46-yard line. That time the delay to Coviello didn't work. Picked up maybe a yard.
Coach Adams likes to go to that draw, Joe. If you recall the Thanksgiving Day game, we did it twice, once with Moki and once with Coviello, and converted them for 1st downs. They go right over Cardi with it, and it's been a big play for them all year.
So 3rd down 11 here, a big play on this possession for Lynnfield. Ron Grasso, wide right. Sutera and Coviello in the backfield. And it's a pass, looking for somebody open. Interception by Lincoln Sudbury. And it's number, I don't know, can't see the number, but he's going to go all the way. Maybe Frontero's going to stop him. That's Brendan Mahoney with a nice move on David Frontero, who was the last man between him and the goal line. And Brendan Mahoney, the big play guy for Lincoln Sudbury, does it again, picking off a pass, running it back 60 yards for a touchdown.
Joe, that play took much too long to develop. He had to get rid of it sooner. He had a man open, but by the time he was ready to throw that, he had nobody. It's tough to see over that team. Lincoln Sudbury's got some big ball players, and to Frontero's credit, it's tough to see when you're rolling out. He's rolling out to the left side. He's got to turn around and throw. A difficult pass for him to throw.
So big turnover, and just as Lynnfield was hoping to continue that march toward the goal line, the 3rd, well, let's see, that hit the goal post and bounced down. So that could be an interesting play if Lynnfield can score 2 times and get 2 points. That could make a difference.
Joe, all year, Lincoln Sudbury's come up with a big defensive play. They've got 24 interceptions, so they're very strong against the pass, and obviously we're in a passing situation there.
and Brendan Mahoney is their leading interceptor, I believe. The 150,000 students will participate this year in more than 80,000 high school sport competitions among MIAA's 355 member schools. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association encourages you to support your local high school athletic program and the students who participate in them. Also, Adams Russell Cable TV is looking to do Lynnfield sports, winter sports, basketball and hockey. They are in need of people who are willing to work on the camera and the other equipment at these games. At the present time, there are no Lynnfield volunteers on the technical crew. All of the volunteers having to come from the Peabody side. So any citizen of Lynnfield who's interested in high school sports, who is, even if you don't know anything about camera work, you can be taught. And Adams Russell needs the help. This kickoff going deep, picked up on the 4-yard line by Ron Grasso, number 85, who's still going, and finally brought down at the 20-yard line after being hit several times by different Lincoln Sudbury defenders.
Good effort there, Joe, by Grasso. He's made 2 good run backs today. Ron Grasso, Joe, is one of the juniors that Lynnfield has coming back. Next year they have 18 with a lot of experience. They have 23 juniors and 9 sophomores coming back. This is predominantly a junior team, and this experience they're getting here today is going to be invaluable for them next year.
That's right, and Coach Bill Adams, in only his 2nd year in Lynnfield, a co-champion last year in Cape Ann and a full championship this year, has done very, very well with these Lynnfield football players. Frontero back to pass, looking. Complete, no, incomplete. The official indicates at about the 28-yard line. That was the attempt to Jay Kelleher.
Again, Joe, we're not releasing it quick enough. We're waiting just a little bit too long. We had a couple boys open on that play. Got to get rid of it just a little quicker. Coach Adams changing his game plan a little bit. First down passing, maybe trying to open it up a little.
And we want to mention Coach Adams, ably assisted by Harry Jameson, Paul Harrington, Scott Brennan, and freshman coach Steve McBride. Frontero. Pitch back to Coviello, and there's a whistle and a flag on the play before that play could really get off.
Against Lynnfield, Joe.
Illegal motion against Lynnfield.
Joe, all year long, Harry Jameson pointed out, the line coach for Lynnfield pointed out that Lynnfield being on top, everybody's certainly gunning for him. It's awfully hard to stay up there with people coming at you all the time. Same true with Lincoln Sudbury. They've been on top for 2 years, as you just pointed out, as has Lynnfield. Both of these teams are champions, and that shouldn't be overlooked. This is an extra season game for them. They're both champions, and I think they're playing like that.
2nd down and 14. Ball on the 15-yard line. Another penalty. Looks like it's going to be against Lynnfield again for procedure. There were 2 people moving, I think, at the same time again. Lynnfield getting a little disorganized here.
Well, Joe, they've been in this situation before. If we look back at the Hamilton-Wenham game, they were down 19 points and were able to come back. It's an explosive team. They scored 205 points. They were the highest scoring team in the Cape Ann League, and they're not going to be shut out. They're not going to be denied here today, and they're aggressive. I think I'd rather see them aggressive than sitting back waiting for the game to end.
That time, the penalty against Lynnfield declined by Lincoln Sudbury. They've already pushed them back far enough, they feel. 3rd down and 12 yards to go. They want the play to continue here and hopefully get the ball. Like you said, Steve, win or lose, it's a great thrill for these kids to be in the Super Bowl game here at BU, and they'll remember this for the rest of their lives. Frontero was nailed and maybe hurt. He was really nailed. No, he's getting up. He's a tough kid. But that, let's see, I can't see the number.
Joe.
Number 44, 6'3", 205 pounds, put his shoulder into David Frontero and drilled him into the ground.
Joe, they've been running away from him all day. He hasn't been in on many tackles, Crow, but that was certainly a big play for him there.
That's right. David was able to get rid of the ball just before he got hit, but fell incomplete because he was trying to get rid of it and seeing that great big guy come at you. Nice kick. It's going to be taken on the fly by Mahoney at about the 47-yard line, and he gets about a 4-yard run back to the 43.
Good tackle there by Guido and Grasso. Joe, they get downfield awfully quick. They made good coverage. He made about 5 yards on that return. Joe, this is a good second-half football team, this Lincoln Sudbury. Pointed out to me before the game that last year, their 35-21 victory over New Bedford, they were down at the half. They put a lot of points on the board the second half, so we're going to have to really dig in here and be strong.
Getting very windy here all of a sudden. Back to pass, being chased by Lynnfield defender, and intercepted by number 15, Bucci. Oh, yes, they're saying no, or are they?
Well, they rolled it, hit the ground, Joe.
I guess they're saying they trapped it, but it looked, we would have called it a good catch, wouldn't we, Steve?
that was good by me. Joe, Pascucci made a nice play on that. He forced the quarterback to throw it before he really wanted to throw it. Pascucci, another one of those juniors that is really fast, and he was right in there on them on that play.
That's right, number 34, Mike Pascucci. I was looking for that number as he certainly did hurry up the toss, and that's what caused the incompletion. Was that another
that was
reverse?
Loomis, Joe. All day Thanksgiving Day, we saw him in the backfield at North Reading, and there he is again. This kid plays a strong middle of the line. And, you know, we're up here talking about all the backs. We're talking about the passing and so forth. We don't give enough credit to the line. And Lynnfield certainly has a great line. You got Dean, you got Loomis in there, you got Murphy in there, Cardi. These guys are playing their hearts out and shouldn't be overlooked.
That's right, and Bill Aldenberg, number 83 on the end with Mike Pascucci, number 34 on the other side. Back to passes Burkle, being chased. It's a screen to Mahoney. Missed tackle again, and Mahoney's marching down the sidelines and just pulled out of bounds by number 17, David Frontero, the only man left to beat. Nice play by David Frontero there on a nice run by Brendan Mahoney.
Joe, that play was not well executed by Lincoln Sudbury. We had 3 shots at him on that, and in both cases, the Lynnfield defenders had their heads down on the ground, and he just ran right by him.
That's right, and you know why he was the leading scorer in Division III in the state, and why he was the MVP of his team and of the Dual County League. A great runner. He uses his speed and his quickness to maneuver around would-be tacklers. That time, up the middle, a little delay up the middle, picked up maybe 2 or 3 yards for Lincoln Sudbury, where they now have the ball on the 15-yard line, 2nd down and 7.
That was Loomis again, Joe. That center, they're having trouble moving Loomis. That might be one of the reasons why they're running outside. They're not going far in the middle of that Lynnfield line.
Back to passes Burkle. Oh, interception! Yes, it was an interception in the end zone by David Frontero. Very alertly jumped up in the air and caught that tip. What a great play by David.
Joe, that was tipped by Bucci. Steve Bucci, all 5 foot, what is he, 5'6", 5'7" of him guarding 6'3" Kroll on that play, who stopped running. He just stood there, and a very alert David Frontero picked it up. This looks familiar. Isn't this what happened to us?
That's right, and they avoided the score by Lincoln Sudbury here and now have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. To give that time to the tailback, maybe Moki. Picked up about 2 yards on the play. No, that was Todd Coviello. Todd Coviello, right.
Joe, we've had a lot of talk about the rotation backfield of Lynnfield and the yardage that they've been able to run on to make. Not to be overlooked is the blocking of the lead back on this play. On that last play, Sutera hit the big end and put him out about 5 yards into to make the play go. Excellent blocking on the lead back in Lynnfield's play scenario here.
Quick look in, complete to look at Ron Grasso. Great catch, arms extended with a defender hanging all over him. Brought in the ball and ran up across midfield down to the 49-yard line of Lincoln Sudbury on a great play, Steve.
Excellent play call. Nothing fancy, just an inside move by Grasso and slant over the middle, and Frontero just stood up and said, "I'm coming at you. Here it comes. Try to get it," against probably the best pass defensive team in Division III, and it worked.
So now Lynnfield has the ball in Lincoln Sudbury territory on their 49-yard line. First down and 10. The pitch back to Moki, looking for room on the outside, cuts in, and dives for about a 3-yard, 4-yard pickup.
Joe, what a block by McDonald on that play. He pulled left and he knocked 3 guys down. The back turned inside, picked up 5 yards on the play. Terrific effort by Tommy McDonald.
So Lynnfield now has the ball second down and 6. Ball just close to the 45-yard line of Lincoln Sudbury. Moki again this time, looking for it. Looks like he may have the first down if he didn't step out of bounds. Yes, he does. So a pickup of about 7 or 8 yards on that play. The ball now down on the 36-yard line, 37-yard line.
Joe, Murphy, McDonald, Madden, they're all downfield blocking. They all pulled on that play. They came down the left side and were way out in front of the runner. I'll tell you, this effort by Lynnfield, they haven't given up yet. They're here.
They're showing a lot of confidence on this drive. Back to pass is Frontero. A lot of time. Puts the ball down, is going to run. Saw nobody open. Believe he probably had a loss of a yard or 2 on that play.
That was good pass coverage, Joe. He did what he had to do, eat that ball, because rather than throw it away, Moki made a great block on that play too to let him roll out. It's a real credit to this passing team of Lynnfield to be able to block the way they do. This is a good rushing team, and they're really blocking out there.
So second down and 11, the ball resting on the 38-yard line. Sutera with the ball. Mark Sutera, number 40, picking up a few yards on the right side, running to about, it looks like a 5-yard gain, maybe to the 34-yard line. Oh, no, it's more than that. It's to the 31.
Joe, that was about an 8-yard run. Sutera averages 7 yards per carry, and that's tough yardage where he ran. He ran to the short side, not a lot of room, had to run over people, kept the legs moving, and a good back will do that. He'll get 4 or 5 yards on his own, and that's exactly what Sutera did on that play.
So now it's third down and 4. The ball on the 31-yard line. Sutera and Moki again in the backfield. Back to pass, Frontero, and there's fumble. Mark Sutera covers it. So that time, David Frontero didn't have very good protection and didn't have any time and was nailed, and the ball came loose, but recovered by Mark Sutera, number 40, for Lynnfield. So they had the ball, but they lost about 7 or 8 yards on the play. It's fourth down and 12 now. But I don't think we're going to see a punt here in this situation.
Joe, I think that was the same play as the one that he threw to Grasso a few plays ago. Although there was nobody there, he couldn't possibly have completed that one.
That's right. He was just standing there waiting for the man to clear, and but this time, unlike the last time, a Lincoln Sudbury defender was right on him. The high school sport provides an extension of the classroom where students learn to pursue excellence, the value of working with others toward a common goal, playing within the structure of established rules, discipline, loyalty, and emotional control. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association urges you to demonstrate your support for these values and for our young people by attending high school competition in your community. The MIAA sponsoring these postseason events, made up of the athletic directors and other officials of the high schools in Massachusetts. A lot of work goes into putting a program like this together, Steve. As we can see up here in the press box, there's a lot of activity, TV stations, radio stations, and the local press as well as the Boston press. There must be about 50 press out in the room beside us here, and this is big-time football, I guess, nothing we ever see in Lynnfield.
Great opportunity, Joe, for these kids. Great, the best two teams in Division III right there on the field now.
And Frontero's back to pass. He's going to be rushed. He gets it away, and oh, almost complete, but incomplete. And Frontero is taking a lot of punishment there, Steve. He had three guys right on him as he released the ball, and he was alone back there to just get pounded. So a nice attempt, but the turnover now the ball goes over to Lincoln Sudbury, where they'll put the ball in play at their own 39-yard line, first down and 10.
Joe, he was fortunate to get that ball off, and standing right, that was a screen play to the left, and standing right in the middle of the screen was 6'3", 205-pound Mike Kroll. David threw it over his head, fortunately, and we almost turned that into a good play, but we were very lucky on that one.
So a pickup on the flat play by Lincoln Sudbury of about 5 yards. That was a very quick play. Frankly, I didn't even see the ball carrier with it. I was watching somebody come this side. But a pickup of about 5 yards, so it's 2nd and 5.
Joe, that's the play that worked well for Lynnfield all year. That quick opener right over the right side of center. They must have seen something there. There is a hole there.
Mahoney with the ball, running left, and he's making some nice moves, and it looks like he's going to either make it or he is going to make it, and what a great run by Brendan Mahoney, showing speed and maneuverability as he just outran the Lynnfield defense totally.
Joe, that was a fine effort by Sutera and Frontero, not Frontero, 16 Kelleher to try and run him down, but what you're trying to run down there is the Division III leader in scoring, 982 yards on the year, a very gifted runner. The problem with that play, Joe, as I saw that, was the ends being turned in. What we've done well all year is to turn that play in. We can't let them get outside. You let Mahoney get outside on you, and he's gone, and that's exactly what happened here.
A very talented running back, and of course he had on his offensive end big number 88. And this time they're going for 2, and it looks like they did not make it. So Lynnfield defended that pretty well with now the score, Lincoln Sudbury 19, Lynnfield nothing.
John Dean got in the middle of that, Joe. John was unable to play last week, and he's a welcome addition back this week. He got in the backfield on that reverse, a little unusual call for down on the goal line, and John bumped the back off and really was responsible for that play.
So Lynnfield keep their heads up high here and looking to get the ball again and perhaps complete a successful offensive drive. As you pointed out earlier, Steve, they certainly haven't given up yet in this game. They've been overpowered here by a sensational running back in this Brendan Mahoney, and who has scored the last 2 touchdowns. But they have shown some spunk themselves when they've had the ball, and they're anxious to get on with it, get it again. So in the middle, ready to receive for Lynnfield, number 85, Ron Grasso, with Jason Moki on one side, Mark Guido on the other. Well, we look for a line drive kick again, which is the way Lincoln Sudbury has been going so far today. And there it is. And it's going into the end zone and out of the end zone, where the ball will now come out to the 20-yard line. Meanwhile, blockers still executing their blocks upfield.
Joe, there was an offsides on that. The boy just to the left of the kicker was offsides by 2 feet, and it wasn't called, unfortunately. And now we get the ball on the 20. But Scott Urati, number 42 on that play, made an excellent block. He stayed with his man. The ball was out of the end zone, and he was still with his man and made a nice block on him.
So Lynnfield again with the ball on their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10. We'll see if they can mount a drive to get on the scoreboard here. Frontero back to pass, being chased by number 44 again, and incomplete. Had a man open. Had 2 men actually about in the same position there, Steve. Maybe that was the confusing. They didn't know which one was being.
Well, that was when you get 2 men in the same spot, somebody's run the wrong pattern. It allows 1 man to cover 2. That ball was to Coviello. Todd, like Grasso earlier, appeared to just want to run a little bit too soon. You got to catch that ball, tuck it, and then you run. A little anxious on Todd's part. That would have been a first down, but let's see what we do here.
2nd down and 10. Give us to Moki, who gets about 5 yards, 4 or 5 yards off the left side. Where now will be 3rd down and 6.
Joe, as I'm looking at this defense for Lincoln Sudbury, they've obviously done a fine job scouting Lynnfield. They're in what I would call a 5-5-1, although I've never heard of that defense. The outside, the halfbacks, defensive halfbacks, are about 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. We're going to have to throw long, and it's going to have to happen quick in order to open this up. It's very hard to run against a 10-man line.
And, Steve, that's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. Lincoln Sudbury 19, Lynnfield nothing. And we'll be back with 4th quarter action after a break for these brief messages. We're back again. This is Joe Maney with Steve Camuso here at Nickerson Field at Boston University. Bring you 4th quarter action now on the Division III Super Bowl game from Eastern Massachusetts, where Lincoln Sudbury is enjoying a 19-0 lead over Lynnfield. And as we said before, it's a great achievement by any team just to get to the Super Bowl. The second best team in Eastern Massachusetts, as Lynnfield is, playing the best team. And so far, the best team has the best of it, with their very talented running back, Brendan Mahoney, and also their big guys in the line, number 44, Mike Kroll, and number 88, Joe Sims. Frontero to Coviello, who is still trying to pick up the yardage, and it looks like it's going to be short of a first down. He had to get to the 30-yard line, and it looks like he got to the 29.
Coach Adams, Joe, on first down going to the air, and again, probably noticing that how tight those halfbacks are, defensive halfbacks are up. It was a nice call. He threw a nice pass, and we almost got a first down on it.
Almost made it, that's right. And now the punting team comes in. Probably look to see an actual punt here rather than a fake. But you never know with this Lynnfield team. They have, they're getting their 11th man, Billy Dalton, coming on here at the last minute. And a kick away by David Frontero, caught on the fly by number 36, Brendan Mahoney. Kind of a high-risk thing for him to do there, really, to run under the ball and, in fact, had to dive for it, but held on to it, and now Lincoln Sudbury will put the ball in play on their own 47-yard line.
He hadn't caught that, Joe. That was an end-over-end kick, a low kick into the wind. That ball would have been bouncing towards the goal line. Actually, I thought it was a fairly smart play by him. It's also the type of a ball that you fumble. And being opportunistic as Lynnfield is, I was surprised he didn't.
that was Mahoney, no, number 3, up the middle.
That's a chance, Joe, and a tackle again by Corbiello, who all day has been making those tackles for Lynnfield.
So it's second down and 7 yards to go after a 3-yard gain. The ball resting on the Lynnfield 49-yard line. Pick up on that play of about 5 yards, 4 or 5 yards, carried by, let's see, number 3 again.
That was Pascucci, Joe, in on the tackle. Loomis, again, in the backfield, again on the play, almost had him back there for a loss.
Chris Loomis, number 65, along with Jay Kelleher at 16, named as honorable mention in the Lynn Item All-Stars. Darrell Carty and Todd Coviello named to the Lynn Item All-Stars. Here's a quick hitter up the middle for the first down. So Lincoln Sudbury now, Steve, grinding it out on the ground. Nothing fancy here. Time is with them, of course. They just want to control the ball. 19-0 lead in the 4th period. That's the strategy that they're employing.
Joe, we can't get discouraged here. The interior of that Lynnfield line got beaten on that play. They've got to dig in. They've got to stay in this game.
That time the play was contained by 15 Bucci and 40 Mark Sutera. That must have been Mahoney trying to find running room down the right side.
Joe, that's the type of defense that's got Lynnfield here. The stripping all the interference and letting that linebacker the back trying to turn outside all by himself. And when he does, he's met by Bucci and he's met by Sutera, both excellent open field tacklers, and the play was well executed on defense that time. Penalty, Joe.
Now that was a penalty, if there is one, Steve, without any activity. Against Lynnfield. Was that delay of game signal?
I don't know what that was, Joe. It was after the play was over. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Somebody must have told the official what they thought of him.
I imagine so. That's it. It had to be words because there was nothing that we could see.
That's a bad place, Joe, for a penalty. That's a mistake. I'm sure that boy won't do it again. He'll learn by this, but boy, that puts Lincoln Sudbury in good field position. That's a 15-yarder.
That's right. So now the ball is at the Lynnfield's 22-yard line with first down and 10 for Lincoln Sudbury. No room on the outside. The ball carrier turned inside and was met by several Lynnfield defenders, Bucci, Darrell Carty, Coviello, and dropped for a gain on the play of about 1 yard.
Again, Joe, that was that good Lynnfield defense. The back is all alone when he gets there, and the linebacker, Bucci, and outside linebacker Bucci and Sutera came up and made a good play.
Number 3, Vance, but there was a big hole, but it closed quickly. And again, Coviello and Loomis and Sutera were there.
No, Joe, a real bright spot in this in Lynnfield's game right now is the open field tackling of Todd Coviello. Todd weighs 200 pounds. He has great pursuit, but in the open field, he's made a lot of tackles all by himself today. That looks good to college scouts, believe me.
So third down and about 5 yards to go. The pass is complete, but immediately falling down is number 88, Joe Sims. So now we have a 4th down and 6 situation. And let's see if Lincoln Sudbury is going to attempt, no, not going to attempt a field goal. It would be, what's that, about a 36-yarder, so that's probably a little too long. 4th down and 6, they're going to go for it here. Back to pass is Burkle down the middle, incomplete. Broken up by number 17, David Frontero, who let the ball go. So Lynnfield will take over.
Excellent play by Frontero, Joe. I think he had the idea of intercepting that. I think he realized at the last minute he's on the 2-yard line, and he let it go.
Let it go. That's right. It looked like he might have done that, and that's a smart play on his part. This game, we remind you once again, is being brought to you by Louise's Ravioli, the ravioli that you can purchase at your local supermarket. Also, Lou's Richdale on Washington Street in Peabody, Four Seasons Sporting Goods on Main Street in Peabody, and the Warren 5-cent Savings Bank in Peabody Square. 1st down and 10 for Lynnfield, the ball on the 17-yard line. And still running with the ball, and a nice play there, extra effort to get a couple extra yards. Jason Moki.
Jason Moki, Joe, one of the fastest players on the Lynnfield team, is going to break one of those open. He did that